It is all because of my childhood, yeah. And now I'm stuttering and stuff when I'm talking because my anxiety is really bad and stuff. And people take the way I talk the wrong way.
I had visions, I had goals. I'm not blaming anybody for what I've done, but there's a lot that could have been done. I could have had people there that weren't there. I feel what I went through shaped me. It left me with zero confidence. I couldn't trust people. I was very angry.
What we would like is kind of that inquiry and being curious about people in order to understand what led them there. So in terms of a trauma-informed approach, we would kind of try to change the behaviour and change the question. So instead of saying, what's wrong with you, we would like to say, what happened to you? So we get to know people's stories.
I wouldn't ask a question like, why do you take drugs? I can't see that that's helpful. That's quite probably the kind of thing they were asked by parents, by loved ones, possibly by teachers. Think back to my own experience, I can hear those voices of people saying to me, why do you keep doing this? When it keeps getting this bad, why do you keep doing it? Why can't you change? It's not a choice. When you're in it, it's not a choice. So I would ask questions about, when did you start? What was going on around the time you started? What do they do for you? How do they help you? How do they make you feel? How do they change things for you? What are the good things about taking these? What are the bad things about taking them? What are the consequences? Why would you change? What would you want if your life were different? How would you want your life to be if you weren't taking drugs?
I think the barriers that people will generally encounter are access. You know, people want to access his services straight away, and quite often that's not how they're set up or are able to do it.
Yeah, I was trying to get help from drug and alcohol services for 3 years. I kept on and on and on and on, but nothing was done. I was hurt more than anything because I really wanted the help. They said I should have been prioritised because of my mental health and that.
I think in North Wales it's geographical as well. You have to get to somewhere.
I thought rehab was something celebrities went to, or, you know, I didn't realise it was accessible.
Not everybody knows that they could speak to their GP and get referred.
If you're in addiction with a substance, even though you might be suffering with your mental health, they have got no time for the mental health because they put everything down to your addiction, which I know is a big part, but I find it can be a vicious circle. You drink because you're in a low mood, and your low mood is because you drink. The way they said it to me is that you can't be under 2 services at one time.
So say you had to make a referral to mental health services, for example, you could make that referral, you could do the legwork, you could actually take the person to the appointment as well. So it's that greater collaboration with interfacing sectors, I think, is massively lacking at the moment and needs to be improved.
Yeah, good.
It takes a lot of courage for someone to actually walk in and speak to a stranger about personal life events and experiences, which could open up a whole can of worms.
I think there's also a huge fear of judgment and labelling.
We know that definitions and acronyms and names create stigma, you know, so kind of like I'm always wary to sort of not put labels on people. I think there's always kind of like that risk of building treatment systems around conditions rather than building treatment systems around supporting people.
The only negative experience I did have was from a midwife who was judgmental. And she said to me, "Oh, you're the drug taker then, are you? We better watch out for you." And I was like, did she really say that? Okay. And I let it go. I remember walking out of the hospital with my daughter, and the look she gave me was of disgust. It's like, you shouldn't be having kids, sort of thing. Yeah.
I find there is a lot of stigma around addiction, to be honest. I really do. It's understanding that addiction is an illness, you know, and that people don't choose to become addicts, you know. It's something that happens. Addicts are still people. They still have feelings. We're still human.
And some people have been in drug services since they were a child with their parents. So coming back into those services are triggering themselves. So do we meet somewhere else? How can we work with you in the best way that meets your needs and actually allows us to do our job? Because we've all got an outcome we want, but how do we get there? From the minute you walk through that door to somebody who sat on the reception desk, that's where compassion starts. So that person who greets you when you walk through has to be as trauma informed as anybody else in that organisation.